may have a seat. And to the 4 or 5 dudes right here, the white jacket, left, right, 2 or 3 guys with you right there. You got the little sway thing going on. I know you're probably playing a little bit with that, you know, when you're during the chapel service. But you got into. You want to show us your moves? You 4 right there. I'm looking right at you, straight at you. You linked arms. You're kind of swaying when the worship band was going. Yeah. See, now they're going like, yeah, you're watching, weren't you? Hey, I get, man. I don't know what God's going to do with that, but you're into it, right? You were paying attention, and so that's what we want. So thank you all for doing that. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage Devlin Donaldson. Devlin is a graduate of Judson University. Friday will be our Founders Day Chapel, so it's also important to celebrate those who helped make this possible for you all as students. And Founders Day, we give out one of our most important awards and honors that we give out at Judson. Other than the diplomas you're going to receive when you graduate, it's called the Golden Eagle Award. It's for an individual who has exhibited passion, love, caring, connecting Judson to people around the world, in this country and other countries as well too, and carrying the Judson spirit with them in their heart. Pleased to share that Friday at the luncheon, our Golden Eagle Award recipient is going to be Mr. Devlin Donaldson. You can give me a big round of applause. For the chapel on Friday, as part of that celebration, we got a remarkable chapel speaker. His name is He's one of the most prominent Native American Christians in the United States today. He is amazing. His message is going to blow you away about his Native American indigenous background growing up and talking about what a life of faith means to him in that context. And then we'll have the lunch and we'll recognize Devlin. Devlin's a Judson alum, like I mentioned. He worked at Judson for several years with me. For me, it was a blessing. It's like traveling with a big brother. We would have a great time. We'd listen to a ton of music. We got to see some amazing people and go to some amazing places. He has a huge heart for Judson. Part of the reason he loves this place is because he has a wonderful family. His wife, Carol, is with us today. Carol's right here. Thank you, Carol. Welcome back to Judson. And proud to say that Carol and Devlin's daughter, Maria, graduated from Judson University several years ago, too. Oh. So please welcome the CEO of Vision Trust, who's sponsoring our chapel today, Judson alumnus, and as of Friday, our Golden Eagle Award recipient, Mr. Devlin Donaldson.
So it's a great day. That's right. So I'm the president of a company called Vision Trust. We're a ministry. We want to talk a little bit about what we do today, but I think the last thing, as I was a student, I sat in this very chapel, and they paraded a lot of speakers up here, you know, to talk to us about different things. And I wasn't always paying attention. I wasn't always highly motivated. When I came to Judson, the last thing I ever thought I would be involved in was missions. But you know what I ended up doing my entire adult life? I've been involved in missions, but it all started really right here in this chapel. And why? Because Adoniram Judson, the namesake of the school, was the first North American missionary, went to Burma. Today, I have the great pleasure of being a part of a ministry that's working with orphanages still in Burma, in Myanmar. So the thing I know about chapel is the last thing you want is for an old white guy to stand up here and tell you all about the way things were, the way things should be, or any of that. So what I did instead for my time today is I asked a friend of mine that I work with, Chris Chamale. He's from Guatemala. He works in our projects. He works with the children we work with. And I asked him to come and just share with you the stories of a couple of the kids we work with and how that makes missions very real, not just in Guatemala or the other countries we work in, but it actually has the opportunity to involve all of you actively in missions every day. So I will quit talking. I'll ask Chris to come up and share with you, and then I'll come back at the end and share a few thoughts.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris. My last name, I don't know if you can say it correctly, Chamale. And it's an accent at the end. And I just want to share with you a little bit of what we do with the kids and at the Learning Center. If you will be checking just some pictures here about our students. But first of all, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you something because the weather here is so cold. Really, like I don't know, like up there, you guys like are closer. Maybe some lights can be a little warmer, but with this weather, I will be like falling asleep very easily. Back in Guatemala, the weather, the coldest is 60s. So if you want to do a mission trip in Guatemala, just bring, flip-flops and everything, and something for mosquitoes, of course. But the weather is just beautiful. And so I want to ask you something, guys. I don't know if that's okay. If I want to take a quick video selfie to show the kids that I'm here with you guys, and if you can say just, just hi Guatemala or something like that. Okay. So let's see the lights. I want to see you guys up there. Let's see. I'll do like a panoramic. Okay. You can say, hi, Guatemala. 1, 2, and 3. Wow. That's awesome. This is the first time that I do this, and it went well. I really like it. I really like it. Okay, so what do we do with our kids? First, I don't know how many of you are studying something like health-related or nutrition-related or social work-related, ministry-related, worship-related, theology, maybe theology? Yes, okay. So it's about people. It's about focusing on people. Whatever we do in our life, whatever we study, remember that we are always helping people that is around us, and talk about the Word of God. And we focus in 4 core concepts. The first one is that we want to focus on helping the kids in health, helping them to have clean water, to have nutritious food. In the 2 villages that I work with in Guatemala, they are very poor villages. I'm sure there is poverty around us everywhere, even here in these cities, in Chicago. But I don't know how many of you struggle paying attention in class if you didn't have breakfast. I would be one like that. Very sleepy, and just paying attention in class is very hard. So one thing that we do is that we focus on nutrition. We bring food to these kids. They come to the learning center and do homework and everything, but that's something that we focus very much. We focus on giving them this meal. Sometimes is the only meal that they have in the entire day. So we want to fight against malnutrition and help them to go to the next step, that is education. When they go to public school and they need help in homework, so nutrition and good education is the foundation for a more successful life. The other thing that we do is we do discipleship with them, and as you might have been studying here the Bible, it's very important for them to remember that God is with them all the time, that God is with them no matter the situation that they have facing. You see in these pictures happy kids. I don't know how many of you have seen pictures of ministry or missions, and they show you, these kids with boogers in their face and all dirty. And yes, that is the reality, but also the reality is that the kids are happy. The kids have joy. No matter the situation that they are facing, if they are with friends, with people that care about them, that's the most important. People that care about them. If they are surrounded by people like teachers, and now we are bringing the message to you guys to help in ministry, to help in doing missions. When you care about the life of each one of these kids, you are bringing hope. You might think that they will just forget about you if you are helping them, but remember, if these kids don't have a parent in their home, if they don't have dad or uncles, no one is caring about them. But for them, knowing that someone from another country cares about them and send them, a letter, a picture, that brings them hope in knowing that at least one person cares about them. At least one person. And that is in their mind all the time. That is something that is stick in their heart very profoundly. So I want to tell you the story of two kids. They have been with us for many years, but we were able to help them to study all through high school. And this past week, we had a graduation from high school. So the story of two kids. One is Adolfo, and the other one is Josefina. So Adolfo, he comes from a family that only the grandma, the mom, the aunt are present. There is no one else. And then, of course, cousins and everybody lives in the same house. So the parents are not able to support them to go to school, and they would rather put them to work. And that is very hard. That is very hard because they are stopping the future and the hopes for these kids. So we were able, through sponsorship from people that helps us at Vision Trust, and to bring education to these kids. And we were able to bring these kids to graduate from high school. Now his dream is no longer just going out and work in the fields or just work at a construction. Now he wants to study mechanics. He wants to study engineer. He wants to work. He wants to have his own mechanic shop. Josefina, this is a girl that she's the youngest in her family. So all the older siblings, they are all working in the fields, making tortillas, and that's their life. She is able now to finish high school, and she wants to study medicine. She wants to bring help to the same community that she is growing with. So just bringing an opportunity for these kids to shine, bringing the opportunity for them to have dreams. That's what we are doing here. So yeah, this is what I want to share with you guys. Of course, we will have more information back there at the booth, but we're not just in Guatemala. We are in 11 more countries, several countries in Africa, in Asia, Peru, Brazil. It's just what we want to say to you guys is to join us and bring opportunity to one more kid. One kid at a time. I know that we will not be able to change the life of all the kids or end poverty, but we can work in the life of one kid at a time. So I want you guys to pay attention to a little video that we have prepared for you guys, and then I'll have the time to Devlin.
Hi, Hudson University. My name is Ashley Hector.
So that's a little bit about what Vision Trust does. And one of the things I've learned in my life, not wanting to be a missions person and ending up being one, you have challenges, you have problems, I have challenges, I have problems. Guess what? When we're able to serve others, just like serving that guy was in the first video this morning, our problems diminish. We grow. We become more of who God intends us to be. And so these videos of the kids, the stories of these kids that just graduated high school are important because somebody 10, 15 years ago said, I am going to be the person who solves the future for one of these children. I'm going to help solve the future for one of these children. And you have that opportunity today. You can actually help yourself and you can help another child by reaching out and creating a relationship with one of these kids. And it's a very easy thing to do. When you all came in, you got one of these cards on your seat. It's got a QR code on it. You can scan that at any time. You can do it later today, later in the week. If you want to learn more about Vision Trust, you want to sponsor a child. But I want to ask you, are you going to be one of the people who decides today that you're going to solve the future for one of these kids? So that in 10 years or 15 years, when somebody from Vision Trust comes back and they show a video to a chapel of all new students here at Judson, they're going to see a child who's a success, who knows Jesus, who's employed and has a family because you chose today to invest in them. You chose to help them become one of the videos that we show as a success story. So we have a table out back. We got a bunch of stuff you can pick up. We got wristbands, stickers, and all that kind of stuff. But we also have packets of children out there. And you can see their picture. You can get some of their history, who they are, what they're about. And that's just the beginning. Because what we want to do is become the facilitator for you to be able to have a relationship with these kids, to know who they are, to know what their challenges are, to be able to pray for them. And hopefully, at some point, you'll have a chance to go and visit them in whatever country they're in. So when we're done here, I would love for all of you to go back. Some of the kids in the video, we have their packets back there. They're waiting for a sponsor. And then we have kids from other countries around the world if you're interested in another area. So that's really what missions is all about. We're here to help people become everything God wants them to be. We can make it really complicated. We can talk about strategies and all of that. But something I believe is that the currency of the kingdom is relationships. Ministry doesn't happen without relationship. And we're inviting you into a relationship with one of these kids. So you can pick up a packet like this. On the inside is a little card. Fill that out. Give it to somebody behind the table. And we'll get you connected with that child, and you can begin your relationship and begin solving the future for a child. And you know what? That's really what it means to be a Baptist, is to find whatever way God is calling you to be involved in relationship and investing in people's lives. This is a great way to do it. I hope you'll do it. And I think I'm going to let you out just a couple minutes early. So you are dismissed to go sponsor a child.